Our house there is on the edge of a forest, and there are some ominous trees that I need to have taken down for the safety of our family and house. So this is that story. There are a few trees. There's 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 red oaks behind the house. There's that tall white pine there, and then right there is another pine that has to go because it's about ready to fall down. This is the half-rotten tree that's liable to fall on our house, which is kind of leaning that way. You know, there's the house, there's the tree, and it's kind of leaning, but it's more leaning towards the back. And the prevailing wind here, if we did have bad wind, would probably push it into the backyard if it fell naturally. But we don't want to risk that. So all of the trees are just going to be cut at the base and pulled down, or jacked over, or wedged over, or whatever needs done. And I'm going to cut them up the rest of the way in order to save money. So very tall, very dead, at least on the base. It had another trunk that went off there, and it fell down here many years ago. And then there was a shorter trunk still remaining that was rotting, and it fell down, and I just pushed it off to the side. But you can see, I don't know how much good tree there is left there. 8 inches, maybe a foot, somewhere in there. And that tree is very tall. I'm gonna get a tape measure out after they're fallen to see how tall they actually are. But I'm gonna guess around 100 feet, maybe more. This other big tree here, pine, goes way up there. I think it's the tallest, maybe. But it's just really close to the house. If that fell on the house, it'd probably crush the house. And it doesn't necessarily have the best base. Up the exposure a little bit, because it's right next to a creek. So I don't know what the roots are doing in that creek, if they're healthy or if the creek was too muddy, it could like pull the roots out. That'd be bad. And a certain difficulty for all of these trees is to make sure that they're not falling onto the house, obviously. I'll stop you down a little bit there. This tree is probably one of the worst. And you can see it's 100% of the branches are on the right side over the house, and the tree's also leaning over the house. And the tree has a crack along the bottom, which is also concerning. I'll walk over and see it. So here's that crack. We don't know what it's doing. Not related to the bird feeder, that was in after the crack. Goes all the way down there. So who knows what this is doing. It's got a little bit of a, maybe has some rot in the middle when it starts looking like that. Back up from this other direction. See, it's also leaning that way, kind of into the wind, so who knows what it would do during a heavy wind. And then other trees that need taken down is this one, that one, that one. And maybe, we'll see what the tree guy does, but there's another red oak, right, that one there, right beside that pine, that might go down also. And it probably would have been easier, at least with this tree, to cut it down if the hot tub weren't in the way. But tell my wife to do the hot tub after the trees, and yeah, that doesn't work. Also, this tree had dirt piled up on the bottom, like probably 3 feet for over a year. That's all dirt that was dug out under our porch by the contractor. And it's exhibiting some signs of ill health as well. This is where I burned that beehive. Or it wasn't bees, it was hornets or wasp nests or something, ground bees, which aren't proper bees. So, yep. So we got 2 white pines, red oak, red oak, red oak, red oak. And with any luck, I'll be able to save the poles and sell them to recoup some of my cost. And these are all very deep in the woods. Old growth woods, I'd say. At least that's the way it seems. Maybe this, well, not necessarily old growth. I think it was selectively logged 50 years ago or something, 40 years ago, leaving just these trees, obviously, which grew up tall. We can see a lot of other trees in this area that are also tall and skinny, like these maples here. They're very skinny and very tall because they're in the woods. So now I'm going to wait for the tree guy to get here and follow up. Here's the first tree. He has a fat rope around it, and they're pulling it that way, and then through a block that's hooked up to that tree back there, and then he's going down to the neighbor's parking lot, or maybe just my yard, we'll see, and pulling from there. Now they've got it pre-tensioned. See the truck down in there in the yard. They've got a lot of tension on it. Long lever. That's not what I expected. going. Woo! I felt the ground shake up here. There she goes. It's a really fortuitous thing that we're taking these trees down because they're not the healthiest. Also, this one's got like 20 feet of overhang. They're just going to try to break it off because it's so rotten. We'll see if it does anything. Sorry if the camera's not so great. It's really hard to record tree stuff. So the rope's going way back in the woods and it's tied off to another big tree back there. And then it's tied off probably 60, 70 feet up in this tree. You can see I'm a little bit smarter.
I'll cut it. Wait a minute. What block do you have up there on that tree? My black one? Is it black? You should take it. Yeah.
There she goes. There she goes. Well, there's my corner pin. And there's the top of the tree. So if I want to, I can just let this rot in place. Don't have to deal with getting rid of it. Oh yeah. Mountain bike course. He's making a lot of good progress on that. It's going. Boom! Sorry, I have to add my sound effects.